welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at gods5minutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
The doleful book of Lamentations, written by the prophet Jeremiah, opens to the scene of the man of God looking out over the city of Jerusalem while tears streak his cheeks. As he surveys the desolation of what was once the crown jewel of his nation, how doth the city sit solitary that was full of people? How is she become as a widow, she that was great among the nations and princess among the provinces? How is she become tributary? We in the United States in modern times have no proper frame of reference for Jeremiah's grief. We have, true enough, had occasional national disasters, Hurricane Katrina in 2005, or reaching farther back to the 1906 earthquake that devastated the sleepy city of San Francisco and cost some 3,000 lives. There have been tornadoes and fires, but none of these have ever reached the devastation the terrible Second World War visited on so much of Europe and Japan. We also have a generation who were raised with modern conveniences, air conditioning, easy transportation, foodstuffs of every sort available, practically instant communication with others all over the world. Useful as these things are, nearly universal throughout our nation, they are all temporary and can be destroyed. So let's close our eyes for a moment and try to see things as they appeared to the prophet, seated on some eminence, looking at familiar streets, homes of friends, the very temple itself lying in smoldering ruins. It's foolish to think nothing of the sort could ever happen here. Anything built by man can typically be destroyed by man. What if it happened to the region where you live? What if it happened to our nation's capital? Jeremiah writes with the passion of a man in deep shock and grief, almost despair. He remembered the throngs who had come to his beloved city for business and worship. It seemed incredible that they could all be gone, excepting only those who were able to flee. All were victims of the Chaldean king Nebuchadnezzar's capture and razing of the city in 586 BC. Many were killed. More were led away captive to be slaves in Babylon. Jerusalem was once a prominent city, full of people, recognized for greatness by its neighbors, the renowned queen of the districts of Judah. Now the city was stripped of everything of value, burned and wrecked by a cruel, vengeful, invading army, determined to leave nothing of her former glory intact. No wonder Jeremiah wept. The book of Jeremiah and other books of the Old Testament show the reasons why God permitted this city, once so protected by the very angels, to come to this unhappy condition. And the sad story it is. The simple fact is rebellion against God brought the downfall of the nation. But that is not the point of this broadcast, for Jeremiah did not fall in with the error of his people, and it is into his heart we wish to look. There is a certain mystery hanging over the fate of the prophet after his sad writing. Some records indicate he was taken to Egypt by those ruling over him and there finished his life. However that may be, what he wrote in Lamentations 3 are some of the most powerful verses in the Bible, rich in spiritual courage and determined faith in God, no matter the circumstances. He was literally a prisoner in Jerusalem when Nebuchadnezzar besieged and ravaged it. He was forced to go to a strange heathen land and likely never saw the temple again where he and his forefathers had served and worshipped God. But here, in his own words, shines his indomitable faith. Thou hast removed my soul far off from peace. I forgot prosperity. And I said, my strength and my hope is perished from the Lord. Remembering mine affliction and my misery, this I recall to my mind, therefore have I hope. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. Have you talked to him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at godsfiveminutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.